Okay, welcome back. I know it's been a while since I posted a new video on my mods for the player homestyle settlements, but I had to think about what I wanted to do for Hangman's Alley, and I did a little something extra. I stuck to the original plan of building a small, compact player homestyle settlement, so it's what I'm going to use, what I'm going to do with this area is not particularly huge, but I know that there's a lot of people who like to build high. So I've included some additional options with Hangman's Alley. It's going to be included in the template, but as far as the switched lighting and the stuff that you see added in here, I stuck to just the 3 existing structures that I plan to use and build upon. I'm going to use this area over here, I'm going to use this area over here, and I'm going to use this area over here under the exit. That's going to be my primary plans for a player home style settlement. Now, I did build above and beyond that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to import the template. I'm going to show you the small player home style stuff that I built, and then I'm going to show you the additional stuff that I built. So I'm going to pause the video here. We've got a good time of day, so I'll import the template. I'll join you back here and I'll explain the 2 parts that I've built here, the player homestyle settlement, and then all the extra stuff that people who like to build high and really large settlements will be able to use to accommodate their style. So I'm going to pause the video here and I'll be right back and show you guys all of that after I import the template. Okay, welcome back. The template is imported, and one of the things that you'll notice is there are some catwalks up there. We'll go explore those. And something else that I did was, oh look, there's someone from NPC's Travel. I expanded the actual build area slightly outside the vanilla borders. So this green border, it's just a little bit of a line. I gave myself just enough room to build outside here. Just enough to build maybe 1 square, the 256 by 256 square building block for like floors and ceilings and stuff. And that was so that near this entrance, if you wanted a guard post outside or at the entrance, you could do that. I've pre-built one here. That's a guard bed from HCS's home builder. That's not a bed toward the settlement bed count. That's actually a guard workstation. And that is also this chair. So if you assign somebody to guard here, they'll probably pick up that chair, that bed, and maybe there's a guard workstation just on the inside there. Now the player home area is pretty compact and small. If you want to turn this into a settlement and keep the compact design, you can get rid of this picnic table and just plant a couple crops out here. If you want a larger settlement, there's plenty of room out here for crops. The player home areas, I don't know if you noticed it earlier, but before I imported, the lights and stuff were floating. The mod includes switched lighting, just like my other mods. This is going to be the settler area for them to sleep in here. It's got tons of idle markers, both built into some of the settlement objects that I built, as well as on the floor. This is going to be the player's home. There's the welcome mat for fast travel if you use it. And you'll notice I changed it. I put all brick walls in here. The brick walls that you see are from Homemaker. They are precisely positioned to match the angle of the existing structures. The floor is covered with carpet to make it kind of homey. All in all, it came out looking pretty good. I did the best that I could to fix the glass in the windows, but of course the Homemaker meshes are similar to vanilla mesh, so the glass that's in there is still going to show up with the broken window texture. That's the best that I could do without completely redoing it, but this is not going to be my main home. This is going to be kind of just a central location, almost kind of like a campsite or a second home while I'm out and about adventuring in the wasteland. Storage area with ammo on a shelf, crafting area. This is HCS's compact crafting. There's also a cooking stove out here, the grill. Same thing I did for Oberlin Station. The animations dumps the meat right into the frying pan. And I put that together. That looks pretty good, like an outdoor cooking station, outdoor eating. It's got some of the conveniences of home, but it's still kind of like a campsite. I don't use power armor, but that just screamed out to me that it was a good spot to put a power armor workstation. I am using a a mod that extends the distance for power connections. So the closest power connection that I have is on this post here, and it does reach out to the hanging light that's above this power armor workstation. If you import this and you're not using that mod and that light is dark, you just need to pop maybe a connector or two along this wall just to bring your power out a little closer, and then that light will fire right up. Then you'll be able to use the power armor station. And it lines up with that overhang and that doorway. I put a towering guard station there. God station, yeah. There's plenty of dirt here for crops. And on this entrance, there is another guard station here, again with the guard bed, guard chair, and that guard station makes 3. And last but not least is the campsite's shower and bathroom. Also with switched lighting. It's decorated pretty nicely, kind of looks homey, so it came out pretty good, I think, anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, something you may notice, in addition to the standard stuff you'd see in a settlement, I'm probably going to use this fenced-in area. That's going to be my player home area settlement for just having something compact. But you'll notice there's a couple of blocks, just what appears to be randomly positioned. But no, these are here, lined up with the existing structures, so that if you want to build here, you can line your additional structures up with the building. So let's say you want to make a greenhouse. You could start with this, it lines up with the wall and goes across. You could cover this over nicely and have it all line up with the existing structure. Just a note of trivia, the majority of the structures in Hangman's Alley are offset by 75 degrees, so if you plop a block down, open the console, and say set angle Z75, it should line up with 90% of the buildings here. And again, the settlement area, I used a lot of the brick textures, the walls from Homemaker, excuse me. That's pretty much it for the main part of the settlement. Now, I'm going to get on to the extra stuff. The 2 guard posts near the exits on either end, those are kind of extra. I probably won't use those, but I left them in for people who want to use them. Just a little bit of roof access here in case anyone wants to add anything on top. You can remove those roofs and make a second story. And this is the main access to the catwalks going all around the settlement. There's a floor above this building. All of this is nav meshed in my Hangman's Alley mod. So you can walk all the way up this scaffolding or, fire escape stairs with followers, and they will follow you up here. Anything that you build with settlement, of course, this is all nav meshed as well. But you can go all the way up here. And this ladder right here is, I think it's nav meshed to here. It's nav meshed around here, but I also built. And this area out to this corner is nav meshed. Now, the reason you see these floors sunk in is because my nav mesh originally stopped at this line. So roughly the line that you see with this roof wall, that's the former build area border for the settlement. I expanded the build area out because that's just a marker. And it comes out to about, well, let's just pop open the build menu here and see. It comes out to about here, about the middle of this roof. But because I did the nav meshing and combined all my meshes in the original mod before I expanded the build area, in order to avoid having to recombine all the meshes, which opens up the option for errors, 100% of what I built is built upon my existing Hangman's Alley cleanup. All that I've touched is I added a layer and added additional materials, which doesn't affect your combined meshes. Interactable objects don't affect combined meshes, so the switches and the lights that fade in and out are not included with that. And any markers that you have, such as the build area marker, do not affect combined meshes. So you can replace my existing Hangman's Alley clean with this new version to have the additional features put in, and it doesn't mess with the combined meshes. You just delete the old ESP and main file, put the new ESP and main file in there, and just replace it in the same spot in your load order, and it should work without any issues. Because the only changes that I've made touch markers and interactable objects like the light switches that are not part of combined meshes. That, though, prevented me from being able to do a new nav mesh, which I don't know if that's included in combined meshes or not, and I didn't want to really bother finding out, so I just made a little walkway up here with built materials That'll give a path for followers to follow you around here. Once you get past that border onto this walkway, you're back in nav-meshed area, and you can open the mod in the creation kit and see that the rooftops are nav-meshed out to about here, and then they're nav-meshed over to here. The top of this building is nav-meshed, and about half of the top of this building out to about here is nav-meshed. Don't remember if I nav-meshed anything down there or not, but it's so little and it's so close to the border, I probably didn't. So anyway, the majority of this is nav-meshed. If you want to build up here, I've put the walkways in place and a few guardrails. I'm going to delete these because I don't want a settlement this big, but I'm including them in the template for people who do want to build up here. It's up to you guys. I just wanted to include the option as a convenience. Now I'm going to go the other way. You'll notice when we came up the stairs here, we got up here, I turned left and I explored over that way. I'm going to turn right, and this little catwalk, this bridge up against the building, comes up to a nice enclosed area on the roof here. This would also make a nice little player home area, and the build border goes right out to the edge of this wall. So once you cross that, you're outside the buildable area. So you can put your walls right up to the edge here. If you want to do the homemaker brick walls thing and make this like a little penthouse with a nice overlook, you could do that and just delete all the stuff on the other side, whatever you feel like doing. So that's about it in a nutshell. Plenty of power and defenses. I'm using the typical 100 power generator in here. And that's more than enough for the 2 rocket turrets, which I've tested this by spawning like 2 death claws, and the rocket turrets pound the hell out of them. There's not going to be anything getting in here. In fact, that rocket turret is lined up so that if something spawns out here, it'll fire just over that guardrail and out the doorway to hit stuff in the street here. So the range on the defenses and the position on this end is great. The other one, it's not lined up perfectly. It'll cover that door well, though. And here's another example of an object that's placed to help you position things. If you want to build off this building, you could do that. If you want to build up there, you could do that. That block will line up. And there's one more over here, I think. Yeah, all that stuff up there is also lined up. And there's a block here that lines up with this foundation tile right here. So I've got pre-existing stuff that'll help you guys line things up if you want to expand on this. There's plenty of water, plenty of beds, plenty of guard stations. This is going to make a nice little player home away from home. It's centrally located on the map. It's near Diamond City for merchants. And it just struck me as being a good place to build a settlement or a player home. It's not going to be maybe my main location. But certainly while I'm out and about exploring, this is going to be a pretty convenient place to stop in, craft, and hit some merchants, and then go off to do whatever the next thing I'm working on will be. So, and you can see, I don't know if you noticed too, the frame counter in the top left corner. Combined meshes are working, optimizations are working. It stays at 59.9, 60 FPS the entire time we're through here. So, combined meshes are not broken. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that some of you get benefit out of the extra stuff that I built, way above and beyond what I would consider just a small compact player home settlement. I'm probably going to delete everything second story and above, and I'm just going to use this structure and that structure and everything inside the fence. The guard posts are going to be gone. The only thing that I'll keep is maybe this guard post here because it's serving as a wall, and maybe put a guard bed or somewhere in here just for them to have a place to sleep. But I'm definitely going to shrink it down to be more in harmony with my compact player home theme. I just couldn't resist the urge to give the option to expand a little more for people who want to expand. Oh, and I forgot to mention, up where that apartment sign, I didn't build anything to get you down to there, but the triangular roof above that apartments, that's also nav meshed, so you could build a little penthouse up there. You just gotta do kind of like what I did and just get a ladder down to there. You could either build up this wall or come down from up there. Anyway, whole lot of information. If I've forgotten anything or didn't cover anything, feel free to open it up in the creation kit. You can see where things are nav meshed. You can see how what I've built works with those. And all things considered, I think this is a decent Hangman's Alley mod, and I hope you guys enjoy both the mod file and the build template. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed building it once the inspiration hit me. I'm going to share this shortly, so it should be uploaded pretty soon. And as always, may you shoot many super mutants in the face. There is one thing that I forgot to mention about the mod, and you'll notice that the workbench has been moved. If you unlock Hangman's Alley before you enable this version of my Hangman's Alley Clean mod, designed with the switch lighting and stuff for this home player style settlement, this workbench may appear inside against this wall, kind of like where the bed is. The script on it will only fire as you unlock the settlement, and it's the first time that this needs to be enabled in the game. If you unlock Hangman's Alley and it appears in the other room, all you need to do is open the console, click on the workshop, type disable and hit enter, and then type enable and hit enter. And it'll disappear from inside, and when it enables, by default, the script will move it to its new location in the mod file, so it should appear out here. Just wanted to let you all know about that in case you run into that problem. It's pretty common with anything that moves the workbench. Just like with my other mods, for example, the Coastal Cottage mod also has a moved workbench. It may do the same thing there. So the trick is just to click on the workbench in the console, disable it, enable it, and the script will move it to where it needs to be. And then that'll be baked into your save file and you should be fine. Just wanted to mention that. I forgot to bring that up in the video. That's one little bug fix that you might run into, depending on whether you've been here or not before you enable my mod. So if you run into that, that's how to fix it. Now, you can go shoot many super mutants in the face.